Hi, welcome to the Coffee Chat Show here on Buzzing Pattaya, the show where we talk about things that are happening right here, right now, as well as general news, tips, information and advice. Now, in continuation with the Coffee Chat Show, as I said to you before, I bring lots of interesting people to the show for interviews. I'm delighted that Darren's with me. Darren, good morning, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Now, I mean, normally I'm the bigger guy out of most people interviewing. Now this guy here, I mean, seriously, look at him, he's huge, enormous. And we're going to talk about that later on. But Darren's at Key Visa, and if you want any advice about visas, any advice about that kind of stuff, then this is your man, this is your go-to man. So, before we get into it, I just want to ask you, Darren, about what made you come to Pattaya? How long have you been here?
16 years, mate.
16 years?
Yeah. Well, 16 years in Pattaya, but I worked in Bangkok 2 years before that.
And so what made you come here?
I was working for a company in the UK, and what actually happened was I had a plan to come on holiday to Thailand, and this guy said to me, look, can you give this money to one of my friends in Thailand and you go? You know, one of my customers. So I said, yeah, no problem. So anyway, texted to Bangkok, meets this guy, and we started talking, and he says, have you been to Thailand before? I said, no. So he gave me a couple of days, told me what he did and stuff, and then he said, he just offered me a job. He said, how do you fancy it? And I thought, well, you know, it means me leaving everything behind.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, why not? I'm young, go for it, you know.
Wow.
So I worked for him in the visa game for 2 years. He's no longer here, he's gone back home, illness, unfortunately. I got sick of Bangkok after 2 years, and I decided to go home. So what I did was I packed up, I went to Bangkok airport, and there was a Thai taxi guy sat there, and he starts talking to me, where you going? And I was just chatting away, and in the old days that's what we did,
You didn't message him?
No. And he said, have you been to Pattaya before? I said, well, no, because I always worked. I never had the time. He said, well, why don't you change your flight? I'm going there, and we'll half the fare. I'll take you back, and I'll show you around a couple of days.
Okay.
So I said, yeah, okay. So I went to BA, and it was a 50 quid to change the ticket. So I thought, why not? I've got nothing else to do. So anyway, I comes to Pattaya, and usual, great night out, 2 nights out. Then you're eating your breakfast, and I'm going around, eat different cafes in the morning, and every single subject, visas.
Right.
But bearing in mind, then we didn't have internet. We didn't have smartphones, we didn't have, you know, these fancy mobile phones, we didn't have Instagram, forums, you know, everything was word of mouth.
You sound like they're a bane of your life now.
Well, I can't live without them.
You've got to be on them, haven't you?
You can't live without them, But then, you know, it was everything. It was either go to and talk with somebody, or you go to the immigration. Immigration, because of the language skills, didn't really come across right, so they needed this person who could speak English. Now, there was only one other visa company then at the same time that was doing what I did. So I spent about 6 months due diligence, walking around, looking for the right place, found the right place, and I thought, I'm going to give this a go. Got hold of a few contacts in Bangkok, made some contacts here, got permission to do what I do, and that's how it started.
And that's it, you're here.
16 years later, I'm still here,
And 16 years ago, when you first came to Pattaya, what was your first night like? I mean, was it an eye-opener?
I mean...
he's out hesitating now.
People think Bangkok's good, but it was not a touch on Pattaya. I remember I was staying at the JK Mansion, is it, on Soy LK?
Oh yeah.
And I was on the second floor, middle unit, and that was opposite LK. And that then, there was no restaurants, it was just bar, and there was at least 20 girls in each bar. And I remember just getting some fresh air and walking on the balcony and hearing all these screams, and I'm like,
who's that?
And I'm scared. You know, who was screaming there?
Look at the size of him, you're scared.
Yeah, but I was skinny then, I was small. I was scared, you know, I was like, whoa, this is intimidating. Anyway, I got dressed and I went over the road, and like within 2 minutes I was getting molested, and I thought,
I like this.
This is alright, you know. And my Thai mate picked me up, and he took me to a few places like Soy 7, Soy 8, blah blah blah, as we do. And I said, wow,
Yeah.
He said, "You've not even been walking street yet." And then that was it. That was blew my mind.
Incredible.
And, you know, there were millions of foreigners then. The exchange rate for pound was like 74 to the pound.
Don't. Those days
There were
long
millions of people happy. You know, there was no animosity. Everybody was in a good mood.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I'm loving this.
I'm having it.
I'm not going on.
16 years.
Yeah.
And can I ask, 16 years ago, what was immigration like? Was it still in Soy 5 or has it moved?
No, it was on Soy 8.
Soy 8, oh, okay.
I mean, the office was about as big as mine, this tiny thing, you know. Then, it was never full.
Right.
You know,
Wow.
and it's amazing. And, you know, all the flats above, you know, you got all the rooms above, and that's where the officers still stay now during the week.
Wow, brilliant.
People don't know that, yeah, they've got to stay in Pattaya. So anyway, I went in there and got introduced to the colonel and one thing and another, and he told him what I wanted to do and what I was doing in Bangkok and blah blah blah. And that's it. He said, "Yeah, get on with it." You know?
Incredible. See, 16 years and still going to immigration to this day.
Yeah. Now they moved to Soy 5, and we've got bigger stuff. We have staff who go down there.
Yeah.
They don't want to see my face every day. So I'm the guy who sits here and gives the information and helps people.
Yeah.
And my staff do the.
Well, brilliant, because that's what I want to talk about now. Because Key Visa. If you're not sure where it is, check out the map. Okay, I'm going to put a link up now on the video here where you can see. It's Big C, which is up at the very top of Sukhumvit Road and on the junction of Pattaya City. And if you're not sure, just have a look now and check out on the map. It's very easy to find. Parking is very accessible. And what I want to do now, Darren, is obviously you've been here a long, long time and you specialise in what I consider to be a minefield. You know, you're a visa expert. In terms of visas, what I want to do is just ask you a few questions about different types of visas and about how people can come into the country. But before we get into that, what's the situation regarding this quarantine business and this ASQ and all that kind of situation? I mean, someone thinking about coming over here, what do they need to be prepared for?
Well, unfortunately, I mean, it is a minefield. That's exactly what you said. I mean, you're right. You've got to do the ASQ. You've got to do you've got to book the hotel in advance. You've got to have the COVID test 72 hours before you fly.
Right.
You've got to have the visa in place, be it a tourist visa or a non-immigrant visa.
Okay.
I haven't seen anybody coming in on a free visa waiver yet.
Okay. What's that?
That's, you know, normally when you used to come in on a free 30
Oh,
day.
okay, a 30 day, yeah. I got you.
But what they was doing was they were going to give 30 days and then an extra 15 days on top, so
Right.
you don't lose 15 days of your 30-day holiday, if you understand.
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean,
I've got you. Yeah,
okay.
I've got you.
But I haven't seen many of them, and I think that's due to financial and stuff, and going through all the bullshit for a few weeks holiday. People don't want to do that. So getting in the country now isn't as difficult as it was 6 months ago when they brought out, do you remember the super tourist visa?
Yeah.
When there was 31 hoops.
Yeah.
You know, that just put everybody straight up. So what we're seeing now, I would probably say in Pattaya, is mainly people who've got wives, kids. They're here for a reason. They're not here just to have a jolly up. Because those going to come for a jolly up, they're on lockdown.
I know, yeah. So
You know, we've seen it in the media. There's guys turning up, not realising they're on lockdown, and there's no bars open. You can't even get a drink.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that, you know, it's not the right place to come to currently at the moment. We all know that.
Yeah.
As far as the future's concerned, I think it will get better, and I think it's going to take time. And if we can give it that time, we'll be fine.
Okay.
But it's giving it that time. So coming in isn't as difficult as it was.
Okay.
You can go on any website, Thai embassy website, and it will tell you straight away what you need to do.
Okay, and is the information on your website?
It is as well.
Okay,
yeah.
so if you do want any information, I'll drop a link below in the description, so go check that out. So, okay, so I've made the decision, and I'm thinking, right, I'm going to go to Pattaya. I don't care about the bars being closed. I want to go over there. What's the easiest visa for me to obtain to come and stay here, exceeding the normal 3 months? What would be my easiest visa to obtain?
It depends on age, depends on how long you want to stay here, depends on your family orientation. Have you got kids? Are you married? Are you not?
Okay.
Are you a single guy under 50?
So are there a lot of separate different visas?
Oh, there's plenty. I mean, I'll just run quickly through them, okay? Let's say you come to me, you're over 50, you want to stay a year.
Okay,
But
so over 50
I've only got a tourist visa, Darren.
Okay.
Right, okay. I can convert your tourist visa to a non-immigrant and retirement visa without leaving the country.
Okay, and what do I need? So if I'm coming here, I need to be over 50?
Yes.
So I'm over 50, I'm coming here and I want to stay for a year and you're going to convert that visa. What do I need to enable you to do that conversion?
Well, the easiest thing to do is make sure you bring some sort of information on your income from overseas.
Okay.
And money.
Okay.
Because that's what helps get the visa. You know, I mean, it's very difficult to come here and have all your ducks in a row unless you've actually been here before. Some guys have been here before. One of the criteria is maybe having 800,000 baht in the bank. So they've been here on a holiday or retirement before, they've gone home, got stuck, come back on no visa and need to start all over again. But they've already got the 800,000 baht in the bank.
And if you don't have that 800,000 baht, is it a difficult situation or can it be worked around?
Yeah.
It can be, okay, so...
It can be facilitated,
okay,
shall we say, yeah.
So in terms of time, if I come here and I'm having the time of my life, I think, do you know what, I'd love to stay, and I'm on a tourist visa, I can come and see you, and if I'm requirements of 50 years old and I've got the income, etc., you can convert that into a visa for me?
Can.
Okay, brilliant.
If you're under 50, not married, no kids, you think, I need a bit more time. I'm not going home yet because of what's going on in the UK and stuff. We can get you a 2-month, 3-month extension, a year extension, the volunteer visa extension. If you're married, we can convert your tourist visa to a non-immigrant marriage visa. Business visas are a little bit more different because that means that you're staying long time. You're staying here a long time. So then you've got to set up a business. You've got to get involved in work permits.
Well, we'll talk about the business as a separate issue.
There's a whole different kettle of fish. A lot of people got panicked a little bit, especially the guys who worked offshore. When you remember when all the amnesty was going on, that was great. I loved it because you could come here. We had people on a 30-day or a 60-day tourist visa. The amnesty kicked in for God knows how long it was. 6-7 months.
Yeah, ages.
Yeah, and they come to me like with a 6-7 month overstay, and I could still obtain a 1-year visa for them.
How cool is that?
And not paying the overstay.
Yeah. I mean, why do you think they stopped it? Why did they just cut the amnesty?
Shall we say people were taking the piss?
Okay.
If you pardon me French.
Okay. No,
it was.
We tell it how it is here. There's no messing around.
It was, it was being abused.
Right.
So, and they wouldn't put up with it. They knew what was happening towards the end. And to be fair, and to the Thai immigration, they were great with it. They give people such a long time to get back home. And some guys didn't want to go home. Some guys didn't have enough money for a ticket and stuff like that, so they were bombing about and trying to get the money together for a new visa to give them more time. So it was brilliant for us because with people coming in, I don't know what to do. 4-month overstay. How long do you want to stay? What do you mean how long do you want to stay? 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. It was that easy. But as soon as the amnesty stopped, then it was back to normal. Yeah. But like I said, we can still do things now that we couldn't do before.
Okay.
And it's great that the immigration have, brought in, shall we say, some of these less known extensions, if you understand what I'm saying. To help people who are under 50 and not tied to Thailand in any way with family.
Okay.
So there is ways. There's a lot of plan A's, plan B's, plan C's. Don't think, I can't get this visa because I haven't got that, or I can't get that. Just come and talk.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, that's a great message there. That if you are unsure about the visas, and let's be honest, it is a very, very complex subject. It's a very difficult subject. And it's very difficult, especially if you're like me, outside of this kind of circle that Darren works in on a daily basis. So if you need any information, as I said earlier, there will be links in here. Please, ping Darren an email, get in touch with him, ask these questions, because it costs you nothing to ask, but it could save you a fortune in the near future. Now, in talking about the future, because in part 2 we're going to go through the visas in a lot more detail, but before we do that and before we close off on part 1, I just want to ask you, when I said about the future, how do you see the future of Pattaya as we sit here right now? Where do you see Pattaya going in terms of when will the lockdown, do you think, will cease? When do you think we're going to start to see people coming through the borders? I've got him. No, he's got to think now. I've got him. Yes.
That's a question. I think, truthfully, I don't really want to say this, but truthfully, I think things will be getting a fraction back to normal towards the end of the year. Okay. I honestly think that, because the Thais are going to hold back on the vaccines for certain reasons. They don't trust the vaccine now. They're not going to start opening the borders or anything now until, obviously, they started vaccinating people and nobody's dying. We're all aware that 16,000 people die a year on the roads. And only 70 people have died of COVID in a year. We know that, but we're not the government. There's nothing we can do about it. But what I will say is that it will come back. The hard part, I think, is going to be is all these shops that have closed and these bars that have closed and the go-go's. We've got to now wait for new people to come in and take them over. And have the minerals to think, right, okay, well, we're not going to have any more problems. Let's take on these new places and then start a business. So down the line, for Pattaya, if it ever comes back to what it was, it could be 5 years.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's a valid point about what you just said then about people who've got to come in and they've got to have the minerals and the finances to be able to say, well, let's do this, and we do it and we'll sit on it. And if it comes good, great. If it doesn't, well, we're not in an emergency straight away. We can at least see it through the time, until it gets back.
But I do think within 6 to 8 months, it's never going to be like it was, but there's still going to be plenty out there for people to enjoy themselves. Well, it's not all doom and gloom. No. Sometimes you're talking from a business point of view, but from somebody who is retired here, and I mean, a lot of the retirees are loving it. It's quiet. They've got pick of the crop, and stuff, and different bits and pieces. But I think it will come back, and I think there's people who love the place and will be that driving force forward into making Pattaya what it used to be. Forget all this Bally High bullshit with all we're building the new pier and we're building this and we're building, and nobody cares.
Do you think they're going to do it? Because I do.
Yeah, I do. I think that they're trying to. Infrastructure is always a hard thing to talk about. Where the government's concerned. They've spent 41.1 billion baht curtailing the COVID virus up to now.
Wow.
Now I want to know how much it costs to wash the streets. I mean, as soon as that money come through, they spent 801 million baht on face masks, free face masks. I haven't had one yet, have you?
No, I'm going. And many people tell me I need one, irrespective of COVID. They tell me I need a face mask.
I got to buy my own.
That's what I got.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is things aren't always done for the better of the city. I just hope that because of what's happened, it doesn't get rid of Walking Street. And we need them people to hang on.
Well, we'll talk about Walking Street in part 2, and also in part 2 what we're going to do is Darren's very kindly going to go through the main visa, which is your retirement visa, the marriage visa, your business visa, and we're also going to touch on the 10-year visa. So if you've not heard about that, we're going to touch on that in part 2. I'm also going to get Darren to share how immensely and incredibly strong this man is. I mean, I'm sat next to a human silverback gorilla, would you believe? But he is incredibly strong, as you can see, and we'll talk about that as well. So Please, guys, if you do want some information, anything whatsoever, get in touch with Darren here at Key Visa. If you're not sure, remember, check out where the link is down below and you can contact him that way. The map is on the screen now, so you can see where it is. It's opposite Big C, top of Sukhumvit Road. Very, very easy to find. All right, so we're going to come back in a few days with part 2, and in that time we're going to go through what I said, all those different visas. So stay tuned, come back, and please join us here on the Coffee Chat Show on Buzzing Pattaya. All right, that's it from me today and from Darren. We're going to be back very soon. Please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we bring out a new video. And don't forget, check out our members area. All right, that's it from us, guys. Thanks very much and see you soon.
We don't charge.
We don't charge. There you go. Bye for now.